Well, welcome again into the kitchen garden here in the Mid-Norfolk Farm Garden, and today in the middle of September, well I suppose it's almost the end of September, but I'm going to be planting some onion sets, which isn't something I've ever done before, not in September anyway. I always like to get these in early in case we have a drought and I can't water them for maximum growth, but this is a new variety that I've not seen before. It's called Red Winter. They seem very reasonably priced, £1.99 as you can see from the local garden centre, coming out of Taylor's bulbs. And this is a red variety. They also had an offering an autumn planting white variety of onion, but these are sets, good size sets, not too big. You don't want too massive sets, but they're nice and firm, in prime condition, and these are for planting in autumn. Depth of 1 inch, spacing of just 5 inches. And we're looking hopefully to grow some flat-topped early maturing onions, which will be a little earlier, they say, than if we were to plant sets at the normal time, which will be late spring. So let's get cracking with these, open them up and see what the quality of the sets is like, and then we're going to plant them in this bed here, which is a virgin bed, and by that I mean this is that stuff with a bit of gravel around it, raised border formed from some old rafters, and a 4-inch top dressing of mushroom compost. So challenging conditions, not deep dug, not well manured, but a good fertile top dressing. And these potatoes which we put in late to dig as new potatoes certainly loved it, and everything else that we've done on this technique, as you can see by the growth on those runner beans and the quality of the beans we've had off them, has been absolutely astounding. So don't see any reason why we shouldn't get away with the same conditions for these onion sets to overwinter here. Now normally I don't have any protection for my onions where I grow them in the vegetable garden. We've got pigeons, rooks, rabbits, muntjac, vimaraners, you name it. If something's going to come along and trash your vegetable garden, it will do so. But onions and garlic I tend to manage to grow without any protection, and they seem not to be attractive to any of those pests. So I'm hopeful that even without my rabbit netting going up, which isn't coming for another couple of weeks around this border, that these will grow away nicely. So let's have a look. First I'm just going to open the packet up and have a look at what quality of sets they've provided for us. And there we are, can't grumble with that. Quite a variety of sizes, some quite large which may bolt earlier, some tiddlers which I actually prefer if I'm going to plant onion sets, and something around that size I think's ideal, and some in-betweeners. One thing you do have to watch with these, some of them have got quite long stalks where they've been dried off, and those do tend to attract the birds. Just out of interest they may pull them away. Overall condition of these is excellent. There's no mould, rot or any soft bulbs in here at all. They're all, yeah, I'm really happy with that. 50 good ones. So, don't know how far these are going to go. 5 inches apart, I haven't measured it out. We've got a line, we're going to get our line down and then just start planting. 5 inches is roughly the length of my long trowel here. And we're just going to put them in 1 inch deep, just with the tops just at surface level. And then let's see how we get on. So I've put my line down, spaced out my bulbs roughly between 5 and 6 inches, and a row actually takes 24 bulbs, so I should get 2 rows out of the packet of 50 and a couple of spares to plant. I always plant the spares just in by the side, so if I do lose any and they're not too grown on, I can just transplant them into the rows. So let's get planting and see how we get on with these. The soil's lovely and moist at the moment, so I really shouldn't have too much difficulty. I certainly won't need to water these. Just want to create Nice little pockets for these to go in. I'm not pushing them down hard into the soil. I don't want to compact it at all. I just want them sitting in their planting holes, and then we'll cover them up from the top with a bit more compost. I think the worst thing you can do with these is ram them into the holes or push them out, push them down without digging anything out. It just compacts. You see around the base of these you've got these little dried up roots. That's where they're going to go away again, and you really don't want to compact the soil around that base. You want them to grow away quickly, get their roots down and establish nicely. And we've still got a few weeks of decent weather here if we're lucky. I mean, the nighttime temperatures are dropping, and certainly the daylight hours are reducing considerably now as we go towards the start of October. But it's been relatively mild. Having said that, we've not had a frost here yet. Still got my lemon trees out in the main body of the garden. And the other thing I'm thinking of doing in this border is actually experimenting with the ground matting, which we've got on the roll, that stuff, which allows a good deal of light through and allows water through. It's not sold as agricultural fleece, and it's not an agricultural fleece, it's the leftover matting that's put down to prevent the weeds coming through before we put the hardcore and the gravel on these paths. But I'm just looking at that and thinking this would make a really nice frost protection for these potatoes, and maybe just keep them in growth a little bit longer than would otherwise be the case if they had nothing over them, because this is a little bit of an exposed area. I'm just going to get another bulb. Oh yeah, trouble. Yes, I know, don't get any ideas. There you go, 25, perfect. Now I'm just going to cover these over very gently. See, I don't really want to leave any of those little red shoots, the old stems of the onion plants, before they were dried off and sold as sets, because these chickens will just see those, think they're worms, and the whole lot will be oiked up. So the next thing I want to see from these onions are fresh green shoots coming up, really. So there we go. Now, row 2. How far apart do you go? Well, you're planting the onion sets approximately 5 inches apart, so there's no reason why the rows can't be the same. I'm going to make them a little wider, just so I've got a good chance of getting a hoe down the middle without doing too much damage to the roots. So, same distance this end. There we go. And we're ready for row 2. So let me get the remaining sets out of the bag, and then we'll plant up the second and final row. And there we have it, 2 rows of red winter onion sets planted out. Just got to pull some soil back over these. Here's the packet again. Taylor's red winter 50. I actually got 53, so good on them. Rather that than 49, eh? So we'll keep you abreast of how these grow on over the winter and spring, and hopefully show you the harvest sometime during May or June next year, when these have hopefully done what it says on the packet. Thanks for watching.